and I would rather have curses from you than kisses from any other woman, so I'll stay here." Bathsheba was absolutely speechless, and yet she could not help feeling that the assistance he was rendering forbade a harsh repulse. "Well," continued Troy, "I suppose there is a praise which is rudeness, and that may be mine. At the same time there is a treatment which is injustice, and that may be yours, because a plain blunt man who has never been taught concealment speaks out his mind without exactly intending it. He is to be snapped off like the son of a sinner." "Indeed, there is no such case between us," she said, turning away. "I don't allow strangers to be bold and impudent, even in praise of me." "It is not the fact, but the method which offends you," he said carelessly. "But I have the satisfaction of knowing that my words, whether pleasing or offensive, are unmistakably true. Would you have had me look at you and tell my acquaintance that you're quite a commonplace woman to save you the embarrassment of being stared at if they come near you? Not I. I couldn't tell any such ridiculous lie about her beauty to encourage a single woman in England into excessive modesty." "It is all pretense, what you're saying," exclaimed Bathsheba, laughing in spite of herself at the sly method. "You have a rare invention, Sergeant Troy. Why couldn't you have passed by me that night and said nothing? That was all I meant to reproach you for." "Because I wasn't going to. Half the pleasure of a feeling lies in being able to express it on the spur of the moment, and I let out mine. It would have been just the same if you had been the reverse person, ugly and old. I should have exclaimed about it in the same way." "How long is it since you have been so afflicted with a strong feeling then?" "Oh, ever since I was big enough to know loveliness from deforminess." "It is to be hoped your sense of the difference you speak of doesn't stop at faces, but extends to morals as well." "I won't speak of morals or religion, my own or anybody else's, though perhaps I should have been a very good Christian if you pretty women hadn't made me an idolater." Bathsheba moved on to hide the repressible dimplings of merriment. Troy followed, hurling his crop. "But, Miss Everdeen, you do forgive me?" "Hardly." "Why?" "You say such things." "I said you were beautiful, and I'll say so still. Forbade, so you are. The most beautiful ever I saw, or may I fall dead this instant. Why, upon my—" Don't! I will listen to you. You're so profane," she said in a restless state between distress at hearing him and a penchant to hear more. "I again say you're a most fascinating woman. There's nothing remarkable in my saying so, is there? I'm sure the fact is evident enough. Miss Everdeen, my opinion may be too forcibly let out to please you, and for the matter of that, too insignificant to convince you, but surely it is honest, and why can't it be excused?" "Because it isn't a correct one," she femininely murmured. "Oh, fie, am I any worse for breaking the third of that terrible 10 than you for breaking the 9th? "Well, it doesn't seem quite true to me that I'm fascinating," she replied evasively. "Not so to you. Then I say with all respect that, if so, it is owing to your modesty, Miss Everdeen. But surely you must have been told by everybody what everybody notices, and you should take their words for it." "They don't say so exactly." "Oh yes, they must." "Well, I mean to my face as you do," she went on, allowing herself to be further lured into a conversation that intention had rigorously forbidden. "But you know they think so." No, that is, I certainly have heard ladies say they do, but she paused. Capitulation. That was the purport of the simple reply, guarded as it was. Capitulation, unknown to herself. Never did a fragile, tailor's sentence convey a more perfect meaning. The careless surgeon smiled within himself, and probably too the devil smiled from a loophole in top hats, for the moment was the turning point of a career. Her tone and mien signified beyond mistake that the seed which was to leave the foundation had taken root in the chink. The remainder was a mere question of time and natural changes.
Hardy, who lived until after the First World War, was as much a modern as a Victorian writer. His pessimism about men and his refusal to adopt a religious faith they really did not share mark him as a post-Victorian writer. This is not to say that Victorians such as Thomas Carlyle and Matthew Arnold did not share his doubts. Rather that they were rarely prepared to follow their doubts to an obvious nihilistic conclusion, preferring to preserve some sense of God in their lives. In this extract of the novel, Far from the Madding Crowd, Bathsheba is well known in her district and has attracted the attentions of Mr. Boldwood. He is a rich local farmer who has never married but now proposes to her. She is considering accepting him when she accidentally meets Sergeant Troy, who is temporarily on duty in the area with his regiment and who compliments her on her beauty. Later, because he enjoys the work, Troy comes to Bathsheba's farm to help load the hay onto carts at harvest time. He meets Bathsheba again, greets her warmly, and starts a conversation.